What's going on, y'all? Machiavelli Mills TV. So, Bethune-Cookman University has decided not to go ahead with the hire of Ed Reed and is making all these different waves across social media, right? Everybody got different opinions about it, and here's mine. So, Bethune-Cookman decided not to hire Ed after his rant on social media, going in on the university, on the administration, so on and so forth, calling the school building trash, it's trash in there, it's trash, all this cussing. Sounded like he in a blaxploitation movie with the way he cussing. This shit is fucking trash. It's trash, it's fucking trash. All that. After he did all of that, I knew that the school and him were probably gonna part ways pretty soon. And if they didn't part ways with him, I knew that it wouldn't last for a long time, honestly. I knew the relationship was probably going to be, it was hindered from that point on. Because the truth of the matter is, no institution wants the head coach of their program yelling and screaming vulgarities, profanities on social media, right? Nobody wants that. No institution wants that. This was honestly Bethune-Cookman's way of showing Ed they do know how to clean things up, for real. Because Ed was saying they don't know how to clean stuff up. Basically saying, they got trash everywhere. They didn't have his office clean or whatever. And this, that, and the third. And I guess this is their way of showing Ed they do know how to clean things up when necessary. Again, man, Ed came to the school and was ranting and hollering on social media talking about, I should leave, right? And now Bethune-Cookman has agreed with him on that sentiment. This is the thing, man. I never wish for the downfall of. No, it's some black men I do wish on the downfall of, because some of them just automatic coons and are just ignorant, obnoxious, just terrible people, right? But for the most part, other than those type of people, I don't wish for the downfall of any man, right? But I can understand when a person does things and it can be distasteful. It could be it's not tactful at all. And I can disagree with it. I disagree with the way Ed Reed handled the situation at Bethune-Cookman. I did, right? And because this is the thing, man. That school, I'm sure the school also, because I said they didn't want, they didn't want him, their head coach ranting and yelling profanities on social media. But I'm also sure the school didn't want their employees posting things on social media about internal matters. I'm sure they didn't want that as well. We as black folks, we accept that rule anywhere else, right? Where an employer doesn't want their employees posting things about internal matters on social media. We will accept that in corporate America, at this job, that job, even in the NFL job. We will accept it at the predominantly white institutions, at the Power 5 schools. We will accept it there, right? But for whatever reason, we accept it everywhere else except when it comes to our own institutions. We don't accept it at ours. We don't believe that we deserve the same respect as the corporate jobs we work for or as the predominantly white institutions in the Power 5 schools, right? Ed lost his job because of unprofessionalism. Simple as that. Not because somebody want to see a black man fail, not because they soft, not because, nobody liked the truth. It ain't none of that, right? He lost his job because of unprofessionalism. What job do you know in America? Can you accept the job offer, not without even signing an offer yet? You accept the job offer, right? And then trash the job, trash the people, in the higher ups at the job, and still have your job at the end of the week, or at the end of the day, rather. What job in America can you do that? Outside of being a dominant professional athlete, and then even then they will try to move you and get you up out of that situation and get you away from them. What job in America can you go on social media blasting your employers, cussing, hollering, yelling, trashing them, and trashing a facility, and then keep your job? That doesn't happen anywhere. So to me, it wasn't surprising that this situation occurred, that they let him go, right? People are only surprised they let Ed go because they feel like Bethune-Cookman should be lucky to have him there, and they should be groveling at his feet to keep him to stay. And they only surprised because it's this HBCU, this lowly HBCU, who does not have the funds as the predominantly white schools. That's the only reason people are shocked that Ed Reed, the BCU, Bethune-Cookman, parted ways from Ed. That's the only reason. Because if Miami would have done this, it wouldn't have been a shocker, even though that's his alma mater, because Miami ain't accepting that. They not accepting that shit, all that hollering and yelling, this shit is fucking trash, this shit is trash. All that, they wouldn't have accepted that. And that's his own school. No other Power 5 school would have accepted that. So we only surprised because how dare the lowly HBCU choose themselves or choose, how dare the lowly HBCU skip town or pass on Ed Reed, Hall of Famer Ed Reed. That's why people are shocked at it, right? Again, you can't disrespect someone who's giving you an opportunity before you actually get the opportunity, because Ed hadn't even signed on the contract yet, right? And I know he wouldn't have done all of that in Miami and nothing like that. All that hollering and yelling and cussing and all that, he wouldn't have done that, right? And trashing the school. And all of y'all telling me some y'all soft, brother. I grew up in a household where cussing was just a second language, for sure. But even my mother and father recognize there's a time and place for everything. There's a time you can do and say certain things. And just because the job is with black folks, don't mean you can cuss, holler, yell, and scream out profanities and everything be gravy and everything be Gucci. That's not how that work, right? Your status as a Hall of Fame player shouldn't give you leeway to do that either. Again, your status as a Hall of Fame player should not give you the leeway to do that either, right? Because people feel like, Bethune-Cookman should accept Ed with open arms no matter what he does. Nah, bruh. Nah. Now, no other school outside of the HBCU ranks would accept that. No other school. Not even a Division II. Not even a Division II or another predominantly white FCS school wouldn't accept that. But the HBCU should accept it because we just should be great that he's at this lowly institution. I'm a product of a HBCU, Mississippi Valley State University. Y'all heard it on me talk about it several times. But yeah, nah. Ed stepped on campus and immediately started ranting like he was on a blaxploitation movie, right? This shit is fucking trash. It's fucking trash. And I said, now listen, I told people across in another video, because there's other girls say, I hate when y'all make this comparison to white schools. What does that have to do with anything? It has a lot to do with it. Because decorum should be decorum wherever you are. Tactfulness, you should have that same tact no matter where you are, no matter where you're hired professionally. And I don't think Ed is doing that in no other school because he know he can't. He know he can't, right? And again, certain individuals, and I'm not talking about Ed in particular, I'm talking about in general. Certain individuals will go to a predominantly white school and whisper complaints, whisper, any type of problems. They won't talk about it loudly and boastfully. They whisper certain complaints about certain issues. They'll go there and whisper that. They go to the HBCU, let the coffee machine be broke. This motherfucking shit is trash. Look at this trash ass shit they got here. This motherfucking coffee machine is motherfucking trash. Look at this trash ass HBCU. You don't have the good resources. We don't have shit good over here. Let the water be a little too hot at the HBCU. This motherfucking hot ass water is some bullshit. Like, boy, predominantly white institution, rape be going on, all type of crazy violations, all type of crazy stuff be going on. Violations like not violations, violations and also scandals and so on and so forth. And them same people will go to the predominantly white schools and will be on the hush hush about it. They'll try to keep their voices low in talking about it. But when it's like the coffee machine not working the way they want it to be working, you find out, brother, it simply was unplugged. The brother just hollering and yelling, this motherfucking shit. Yeah, and Ed got there. Ed got to the school telling folks he'd been there for a week in their last rant. And in his previous rant on social media, the first rant that got him in this situation in the first place, he telling folks he'd been there for a week and he done more for folks. He done more than people that's been there for years. Ed, how you know that, bro? How do you know that? And if you done more than people who've been there for years, you got to show that to me. You got to tell us what you've done. Give us measurables. Give us measurables so we can measure that. Don't just say something like that and just put that blanket statement out there without giving us what you've done. Cause now it's like, bro, for real, you've been there for a week and you've done more than people who's been there for years. Really? Really? Are you trying to paint the narrative that you are the savior to the lowly HBCU? Because a lot of people do that. Come to the HBCU ranks and try to act like they're the saviors. Like they are, like they've saved, they just the saviors. They've given us all, they've just protected and saved the HBCU to look like the savior, to be elevated. If they do a little good, a little decent at the HBCU ranks, they'll hope to get elevated to a head coaching job elsewhere at a higher rank. Right? Trying to create the savior complex. You've done more. Let Ed tell it. He done more than Mary McLeod Bethune at Bethune-Cookman University. Let Ed tell it the way he was. I've been here for 1 week and done more than people who've been here for years. Okay, Ed, well, tell us what you've done so we can know that. Don't just put that blanket statement out there. Nonetheless, man, again, Ed came in giving constructive criticism without solutions to the problems. And to me, when you do that, that's just empty rhetoric, right? Eddie George, another former professional player. Eddie George is a very good player. Not Hall of Fame, but very good player, though, right? Eddie George came into Tennessee State and took the time to learn and understand the real issues with HBCU institutions. And that's why he not out here sounding like he gone mad or sounding like he on an episode of the Boondocks. Because he took the time to learn about the nuances of the HBCU ranks and, the issues with the HBCUs and so on and so forth, which is the lack of funding. And a lot of times, we don't get them $1 billion endowments, the mega $1 million endowments that these predominantly white institutions get. So we're always going to be on the lower end of the spectrum when it comes to the resource department, right? But you don't see Eddie George coming in beating his chest about this shit is trash up in this school. And it's a certain way you handle things, right? And I hear people saying, black folks, my people. I hear black people saying, man, black folks just don't like truth. That's why they mad at Eddie. That's why they mad at Ed Reed was calling them out. People don't like truth. Yeah, absolutely. The same way you can't go in your job and tell your boss the truth and tell him he's an asshole, because you're gonna get your ass fired, right? The same way you can come in there and you can't tell your employers you don't like none of them, because you're gonna get your ass sent home, right? The same way when we at a job interview and they're asking us why we want the job, we can't tell their ass the truth and tell them I just want that paper, famo. We gotta say, I think I can be a great asset to your company. I want to help. I want to help keep up the reverence. I want to help keep up the reputation of the institution. I want to help expand certain things here. I want to help build on the legacy that this institution is built. We got to say bullshit and not the truth. The truth is, I want this paper to be caked up to take care of my mama, my sister, my kids, so on and so forth, take care of my family and create generational wealth. That's what we really want. You can't create generational wealth just working for another man like that, for real, like that in that aspect. But I'm saying, we can't tell the truth and tell them, I just want that paper, fam. It's a certain, all that people don't like truth. All that, the truth has to be used correctly in every situation, right? It has to be used correctly. You can tell the truth, but it's not always what you say, it's how you say it. Tone and delivery matters, no matter where you at. And if somebody tell you that it don't, they lying. Because see, black folks think you can come and talk to we can talk to each other however the fuck we want to talk to each other. But when you go when you go work for a white person or a non-black person, what them same black folks will say, you can't say it like that now. You can't do it like that. You can't. But when it come to us, man, fuck that. Tell them black schools they on some motherfucking bullshit and fuck everybody. Really? You ain't gonna say that to them people at the PWI? You ain't gonna talk that shit to them, right? You're gonna have a certain amount of decorum, a certain amount of tact you're gonna come with. Brothers gonna be even sitting in the damn interview with glasses on, knowing they don't even need glasses to see, because they want to be presented in a certain manner with these predominantly white institutions and so on and so forth, right? But when you talking to black folks, we feel like we can talk to each other however the fuck we want to talk to each other, and if we can't take it, then we soft. Then we just a soft generation, a soft bunch. Get the fuck out of here, bro. No, the truth has to be used correctly in every situation. The same way when your woman comes to you and she say, have I gained weight, baby? You can't say, hell yeah, you gained a whole lot of goddamn weight. You big as a house. You can't say nothing like that. You gotta say, yeah, you know what, baby, but you gain a little bit, I gain a little bit. You gained a little bit, I gain a little bit. But we gonna go to the gym, we gonna work this off, we gonna eat right. It's okay, baby. We both gained weight over the years a little bit. It's all right, I still love you. You gotta dress it up. It's a certain way you gotta say certain things. People tell me some people wanna put it on with kid gloves. Motherfucker, you gotta put it on with kid gloves at them Power 5 schools, or they gonna give your ass the boot, right? And ultimately, I think Ed wanna be coaching at a Power 5 school, just like a lot of these other coaches, but the Power 5 schools, like Ed's alma mater, Miami, don't give them that opportunity. They don't give that opportunity to them off bat. They don't. They have to go elsewhere, right? So elsewhere meaning the HBCU ranks, because the HBCU ranks is where they'll hire a coach without having prior head coaching experience. They'll hire you as a head coach. So a person like Ed Reed does not have to go through climbing the ranks of being a position coach here and at this school and that school and that school and that school, or being a high school coach. They'll be brought in as a head coach off bat because people look at their clout and cachet at the HBCU ranks and say, we need you, come on in, right? So again, man, you can't snap on your employer and their facilities before you sign the contract, before you sign the ink on a contract. That's the definition of insanity to me. But Ed got prime in the primettes. And I call all the Deion supporters, the staunch Deion supporters, no matter what, the people that would throw black folks under the bus for celebrities like Deion Sanders, I call them motherfuckers the primettes. But Ed got prime in the primettes, co-signing him, so I guess that made it okay, right? But in any situation, when you come into folks' house, you got to respect their house. Then when you can make a little progress, and then you can call some shots, have some criticisms, and call for direction. You can't come in folks' house and say, this motherfucking decorations is fucking trash. This shit is trash. This shit ain't hitting on shit. You can't say that when you come in people's schools. Again, it's not always what you say, it's how you say it. But honestly, it seems like Bethune-Cookman rushed to try to hire Ed to make a big splash for relevancy, and ultimately they didn't do their research to see if it was a good fit for themselves, if Ed had the proper tact and decorum and professionalism that they would like their head coach to have. Because you can be a passionate player and a dog on the field, but sometimes it doesn't translate professionally in a head coaching position, right? And it seems also that Ed didn't do his research and have correct conversations prior to being offered the job at Bethune-Cookman, right? Bethune-Cookman probably was Ed's only Division I head coaching offer, and he had to take it so he can get to them other ranks. But Ed lost his job because of unprofessionalism. End of the day. Machiavelli Mills TV, I'm out. Peace.